Hey, this is Dancing Rabbit. Welcome to another Weekend Pagan Perspective. My apologies for not uploading a video last week. I was attending the Council for the Magical Arts Beltane Festival, and after 4 days and 3 nights of camping out and dancing around the fire and going to workshops and having a really good time, I was totally exhausted. I honestly should have just contacted the subs in advance and let them handle it, but I thought I could do it. Anyway, today I'm trying to upload from work. I'm here kind of alone after doing tutoring and some paperwork, so that's where I am. This is where I spend about 10 or 12 hours a day. Much too much time. Anyway, this is my third attempt and I've had some problems, so hopefully I can talk fast and not ramble and get this one uploaded. What's my opinion on Scientology? I've had no personal contact with Scientology or individual Scientologists. I have read some about it, not recently, but I'm familiar with the basic mythology and beliefs and practices and some of the controversy surrounding Scientology. I remember one time I was somewhere over in West Houston and actually saw their building here in town. So they do have a church building here and presumably some membership. I'm a little reluctant to talk about or criticize another religion, particularly if they're not really harming anybody. I mean, believe whatever crazy thing you want to. I certainly believe a whole lot of them. But, don't hurt me, don't hurt mine, and don't hurt little kids. So, if you want to be a Scientologist, if that's what floats your boat, well, it's fine with me. If you want my honest opinion about Scientology, I will give it to you. And I presume that the questioner was asking for that. Scientology's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, was a pulp science fiction writer, and he had the amazing ability to sit down at a manual typewriter and write a book in a first draft. Take all day or a couple of days and write a book. You got to understand, he was getting paid by the word, like 2 or 3 cents a word. So he would sit down and he would write. And obviously, when you write like that, you don't come up with a great work of literature. But pulp fiction isn't supposed to be that. It's supposed to be light reading. And that's what he did. Now, at some point, he had the idea of creating a religion. And out of that idea came the book Dianetics, which gives you, in a nutshell, Scientology's basic beliefs, practices, the mythology and all. It was a pretty big success, and out of that came the religion of Scientology. The pagan myths that I find useful have been around a long, long time, and they relate directly to the physical world, the changing of the seasons, the cycles of life. L. Ron Hubbard's myths, in my opinion, are pure science fiction. They might be mildly entertaining, but they have no relationship at all to reality in any sense of the word. The basic ritual or practice in Scientology is called auditing. The theory is that we all have these bad thought patterns stuck in our brain, and I won't go into Scientology's explanation of how they got there, but they're there, and so you get rid of them by sitting down in a sort of therapy session with an auditor, an experienced Scientologist, and you're hooked up to an e-meter, a machine. It basically measures galvanic skin resistance. It's a primitive lie detector. And in the old days of Scientology, you basically held on to 2 Campbell soup cans connected to 2 wires hooked up to a galvanometer. And the auditor would talk and ask questions very much like a therapist might, and would watch the meter. And the idea is to get all of these bad thoughts purged from you. And of course you never ever do. because once you've cleared one level, then there's another level, and there's just almost an infinite number of levels. And all of these levels cost money to go in and be audited and to participate in. So my honest opinion is that Scientology rates really high on the Bonewits cult scale, and I'll put a link to Isaac Bonewitz's scale in the underbar, so you can go check it out yourself, and you might use it for other religious groups that you come in contact with to see how cult-like they are or aren't. There seems to be a great deal of control, a great deal of secrecy, lots of levels. It seems to be a way to rake in lots and lots and lots of money. What happens if you leave the organization? Well, I'm not really sure, but I don't think that they just, shake hands and you leave with no hard feelings. This is quite totally different from every pagan organization I've ever come across. We're very uncontrolling, very individualistic. Now, I'm sure there are pagan leaders who are egotists, are money hungry and control freaks. There are in every organization, every classification. But they are not very successful. Scientology has been very successful in its own right. So, before this thing messes up again and I have to try it over, I'm going to close out. So that's my basic opinion of Scientology. I hope I haven't offended anybody too awfully much, but I didn't come on and give my opinion. I was asked my opinion. It's not like I volunteered it and said, here's what I think and this is what you should think also. You think whatever you want to think. And I think this is the whole, too many things. I think this is the whole beauty of paganism and of Unitarian Universalism, that we are a thinking person's religion, and we expect our members, the people who are part of our very loose group, to think for themselves and to have their own opinions and to not necessarily follow the leader blindly. Okay, till next week, this is Dancing Rabbit, wishing you and yours, even you Scientologists out there, lots and lots of peace.